presented by the Strong Blue Line Foundation and powered by Moose Ridge Coffee in Snake River Landing, Idaho Falls. Welcome to the podcast, where former San Antonio police officer, author, and pastor Tim Rupp walks you through real-life scenarios involving our police officers and digs into the depths of facts and opinions on each case. This is Cop Talk, and it starts now.
Hello and welcome to the Strong Blue Line's Cop Talk. I'm Tim Rupp in the Rev.FM studio in beautiful Idaho Falls. Here with me is station manager, Mr. Gary Austin. Take a bow, Gary. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Nice to have you back in the studio.
Well, it's good to be back. On the road a lot.
Yes,
matter of fact, this month we're in Texas. We're down south in Texas. Now, last month, we went to Minnesota, Iowa, Tennessee.
Wow.
Doing Strong Blue Line stuff.
Yeah. That's cool.
And
that's good.
It's a lot of fun, man. It's fun going around the country, meeting people, seeing different things, and most of all, connecting with officers and law enforcement chaplains, and being able to give them a little bit of training. Obviously with the Strong Blue Line Ministry, while we share the gospel with them, and with law enforcement chaplains, and giving them training so they can better minister to officers, and it's great having Sherry, along with the travels. That's good. It's just
no motorbike.
No motorbike.
No.
Not
on these trips.
Not on these trips. We traveling and doing some stuff, and so we went to Tennessee. That was actually a conference put on by Mission First Alliance. Mission First Alliance is a 501c3 nonprofit started by a friend of mine. He was a Seattle police officer. Wasn't retired. He was a Seattle police officer for 14 years.
Huh.
And he just, the Lord's calling him into something else.
I'll be done.
They up and left, went to Tennessee, Chattanooga.
Oh, my goodness.
And started working with the Fellowship of Christian Peace Officers there for a while. And then they branched out and they started their own ministry. But what they do, they get ministries or charities like the Strong Blue Line Foundation and connect them with each other.
Oh, okay.
So now you can network.
Cool.
With people, so
it's a benefit.
And the Strong Blue Line, now we have connections all over this country.
Yeah,
and it's it's fun. It's good to have them.
Yeah,
connections
absolutely.
To be able to do this.
Yeah,
so,
networking is good.
Anyways, that's kind of cool. That's common sense. We're doing. Hey, we're going to talk about something cool today. AI and police. I mean, we always talk about cool things.
Yeah, I was just going to say, do we not?
We're going to talk about something fun now.
All right.
It's cool and a fun. Okay, yeah. But before we do, we're going to honor the officers who were killed in the line of duty on this date in history, October 16th, halfway through this month.
Man.
Light the Night's coming up at the end of the month.
It is.
So, don't forget to bring your children out, or your grandchildren out to light the night. And Grandpa, I know, you want to come out and play them games, just bring a little kid, one of your grandkids along as an excuse to come out.
That's right, yeah.
And get some candy. Okay. You can. Grandpas always get the good stuff from the grandkids,
They do.
too.
Grandpas are lucky.
Yeah, I know. Okay, hey, this is High Sheriff, not high like how you doing. H-I-G-H, High Sheriff. This wasn't the low sheriff. This is the High Sheriff,
right.
John Caldwell Cook. And have you ever heard the title High Sheriff?
No.
Nor have I. So that tells you it's going to be something old.
Oh, okay.
Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office, North Carolina, end of watch Tuesday, October 16th, 1804.
Oh.
High Sheriff John Cook was shot in the head and killed while discharging his duties as sheriff. That's it.
That's it.
The subject who shot him was believed to have fled to Tennessee.
Huh.
Sheriff Cook has served as sheriff for 10 months. He is survived by his wife and son. Age 74.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
I mean, when you're 73, 74 years old, like, what do you think I'm going to do for the rest of my life?
Right. Yeah.
I think I'll become a sheriff.
Exactly.
I mean, God bless the man. 74.
Wow. Huh.
So he must, who knows, man? Did he go to collect a fine on somebody?
Right. We
Do
don't
you go
know.
to say, hey, man, wake up, you're drunk, you need to move along, and the guy shot him in the head and fled?
Yeah.
You don't know. I mean,
Some of those short ones are cool, though.
yeah, you know.
Because it makes you wonder. They reported it.
Yeah, it's
obviously it's a fatality, a law enforcement fatality, but line of duty,
death, and wow.
Yeah.
Anyways, what do you have there? October 16th.
Well, this is End of Watch 2021. Deputy Constable Kareem Anthony Atkins, Harris County Constable's Office, Precinct 4, Texas.
In Texas, that's Houston.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Harris Houston County is the county seat for Harris County.
Oh, I'll be darned. So they've have constables.
They have constables. Yeah, they have Bexar County, where I'm from in Texas, still has constables. The constables they work under the authority of the Justice of the Peace.
Oh.
So the Justice of the Peace in Texas, I'm not sure how it is now. Justice of the Peace in Texas is the lowest criminal court. So think of a Justice of the Peace as like a city court. Now, if you have a city court, a municipal court, it really only hears like Class C misdemeanors like traffic tickets.
Oh, okay.
So the Justice of the Peace is like traffic court for small places that may not even be incorporated. But Houston obviously is incorporated.
Yeah.
But the Justice of the Peace, they hear a lot of cases. They hear a lot of civil cases. So if you're going to sue me for something, like you stole my lawnmower and it was worth $200, you're going to take me to JP court.
Okay.
And so we're going to go to court, and generally there's no lawyers
Justice
and stuff like that. It's like, well, this is what Tim did to me, and he's no good, and he stole this, and I'm there. I didn't take it. He let me borrow it, man, and it broke, whatever it is,
Yeah.
And the JP makes a decision, you owe him $200, or get out of here, or whatever. But they also, but if I don't show up for court, they're going to issue an arrest warrant.
Default, yeah.
So those criminal matters. They do take care of criminal matters. And a peace officer is a peace officer.
Yeah.
So if he's a peace officer in Texas, he can arrest, and a lot of them work extra jobs and do things.
Yeah.
So they do police work. There's no doubt about it. What they do is police work. This is a better way to say it. I don't say they do police. What they do is police work. It's just different. They're generally not out on patrolling the streets, investigating murders and things like that.
Only in Texas.
But there you go.
That's cool.
There are other places too, but they still have them in Texas.
Yeah. Well, this Deputy Constable Kareem Atkins and two other deputy constables were working a secondary employment assignment. There you go.
Yeah.
This was at a sports bar restaurant when a patron informed them of a robbery happening in the parking lot. So Deputy Atkins and one of the other deputies responded to the location and were taking a suspect into custody when another man opened fire on them from behind with an AR-15 rifle. Deputy Atkins was fatally wounded while the second deputy was shot in the back and seriously wounded. The third deputy heard the shots and was wounded as he rushed to assist the officers. Deputy Atkins was transported to a hospital where he was pronounced dead. The suspect was not arrested until almost 2 months later. Wow. The suspect has been charged with capital murder in the death of Deputy Constable Atkins and 2 counts of attempted capital murder for shooting and wounding the other deputies. Deputy Constable Atkins had served with the Harris County Constable's Office for over 2.5 years and had previously served with the College Station Police Department for 3 months. Survived by his wife and 2 children, 30 years old. Pretty interesting.
Wow. Yeah. College Station, Texas. You know what's in College Station? Texas A&M. That's where the Texas A&M campus is at, College Station, Texas.
I did not know that, actually.
And that's interesting. Is working at a sports bar. When I work with San Antonio, a lot of officers worked extra jobs. I worked a few extras, not a whole lot, but I did work some extra jobs. But in order to work extra, you had to get permission from the chief. So you filled out a off-duty employment form, and so you filled it out. But they would not allow us to work at a bar. If you as a police officer, you could not work at a bar as a police officer. Now, if you personally owned your own bar, you had to get permission to do that, and you can own your own bar, but you couldn't work at one as a police officer because they did not want their police officers at a bar. So what is considered a bar? It's if they make 50% or more of their income is through alcohol, then it's considered a bar. So sometimes like Applebee's, they sell alcohol, but it's not considered a bar because most of their money is made through the sale of food. Yeah. So you don't think of Applebee's as a bar. But sometimes the sports bars, what are they making? Some of them are bars. They're considered bars. So anyways, they don't let us work at them places. But to the point being is, you say you have a city. Let's say you have a city, you have 100 police officers. And it's like, okay, well, we're 100 police officers. A lot of them officers, when they're off duty, they're working extra jobs. So now you have actually more officers because they're working, when they're off duty, they're working extra. So you have more than just that 100 police officers. So, they're privately paid, so you think about, you got more protection.
Yeah.
True. And and it works. Generally, extra jobs work out good for officers, but they can get hung up in them, and work too many of them and get too tired to do their regular job, and so they got to be careful. Anyways, and obviously they're dangerous.
Yeah.
Officers killed working an extra job. Hey, I'm going to go make some extra money tonight, honey, so we can go on a weekend getaway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Anyway, hey, so this caught my eye. The title of this article, and this comes out of, it's an AP article. It came from Police One, but it's an Associated Press article. The title is Literally Seconds. Oklahoma officers are using AI to write police reports faster.
Huh. AI.
And we've talked about that. What do policemen hate to do more than anything else?
Write reports.
Write reports. So here we go. This comes Oklahoma City. About a body camera captured every word and bark uttered as Police Sergeant Matt Gilmore and his canine dog. That's redundant.
It sure is.
What other kind of a dog is there if it's not a canine dog?
That's funny.
Should be.
That's funny.
It could be canine officer, and that way you would know that it's a dog that's an officer. Gunner. That's a cool name. Hey, Gunner. Search for a group of suspects. Wasn't that one of the names from Tom Cruise? What's that Tom Cruise movie?
Oh, yeah.
Top Gun. Wasn't his buddy's name Gunner?
Gunner, I think so.
I think so. I wonder if that's where that comes from. Anyways, showing my age. That come from, 1985 or something?
Cop Talk at the Rev.fm.
Cop Talk at the Rev with Top Cop. Whatever. Okay, let me get focused, Gary. Focus. Gunner searched for a group of suspects for nearly an hour. Normally, the Oklahoma City police sergeant would grab his laptop and spend another 30 to 45 minutes writing a report about the search. That is not unusual. You go make a call. It takes you, 10 minutes to search or 15 minutes to search, and you go back and it takes you 30 or 40 minutes to write a report. But this time, he had artificial intelligence write his first draft. Pulling from all the sounds and radio chatter picked up by the microphone attached to Gilbert's body camera. Gilbert, should be Gilmore. I am finding more problems in this AP report. Gary, what is going on here? Gilmore's body camera, the AI tool turned out a report in 8 seconds. I wonder if AI wrote this report.
I think so.
I think it did. It was a better report than I could have written, and it was 100% accurate. It flowed better, Gilmore said. It even documented the fact that he didn't remember hearing another officer mention the color of the car the suspects ran from. So this is pretty cool stuff. Gary, you work with AI from what I understand here.
Yeah.
So explain a little bit. Maybe there's some in our audience that don't know what is AI. We know it stands for artificial intelligence. Explain how it works a little bit.
Well, it's pretty interesting how the Rev uses it, because we use AI for our top of the hour news. Okay. And so Scott Daniels is an AI person.
No way.
An AI computer generated
Scott is not
voice.
real?
No, Scott Daniels.
Who was that
real.
I saw the other day at Devo's?
That was Scott Daniels.
Does he have a brother named Jack?
Yeah, Jack Daniels.
Okay, I'm just
oh my goodness.
Anyways, Scott. So Scott Daniels, who does the news, is not a real person.
Nope.
That is an artificial intelligence. So how does that work?
It is a voice, so it's all tied to a link. So through an agreement through EastIdahoNews.com, I tell it to how many words to pull, and so it does a synopsis, summary of the story.
Okay, so why would you give it a particular word count?
Just so that it's not wordy. So you want it. So you're on a time crunch, right?
So how long is the news that Scott does?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So 2 minutes, and his voice will read how many words approximately?
About 70 to 80.
70. So will you give it a word count from 70 to 80? Do you give it a window, or do you say 75 words?
75 words.
Okay, so you'll say I want 75 words, and they'll do a story. They'll pull a story from one of their stories or from several of their stories?
Yeah. And then that's I'll tell it to pull the latest news report. So whatever that is, it's at 15 minutes before the hour. If it's the same story, no new story was reported, it'll be the old, the previous hour. But usually
it's just going to repeat. It's going to repeat the same story.
Right, until a new story pops up.
And East Idaho News, I know a lot of people here in Idaho Falls and Southeast Idaho get their news from EastIdahoNews.com. Mm-hmm. It's an online news report. And they do good reporting.
They do.
I think they're pretty objective.
Yeah.
I've read a lot of the things. The only complaint I would have about them is their reports sometimes are very, very long.
Yes.
Which is good. It's good because they're thorough, but sometimes it's like, I don't have the time to spend 5 or 10 minutes reading one story.
Right.
So Scott will take that. Your AI will take that, and you condense that 300 or 400 word story into a 75 word 2-minute piece.
Exactly.
And then if I really wanted more information, I could go to the store and get it. I could go to East Idaho. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty
of course
interesting.
this is something that's not free.
Right.
We have to pay for this service. But it's cheaper than hiring a real Scott Daniels.
Exactly.
That would do the news and thing and call in sick and want a pay raise and complain about the heat in here. So does he ever complain?
He never does.
He never complains.
I never talk to the guy.
You know? Oh, he just talks to you.
He just talks to me.
Oh, he's not a good listener.
No. And so with AI, it's scary just in the sense that this is what we've come to. You and I are real people. Mm-hmm. Scott Daniels is AI generated. You can sometimes tell, like he'll say 45 degrees, 30 degrees. Instead of like you and I would be like, it's a high of 30 this afternoon. It's
you wouldn't say exactly. And once you showed me that, it was about a year ago or so or something like that. And I started listening, and you can see commercials, especially on Facebook.
Yes.
You'll see things and like, why does this guy sound so mechanical and robotic?
Yeah.
He is.
He is.
And so you can see it. They're getting better. Mm-hmm. My books.
Right.
Audible books are AI generated.
Yeah.
So there's not a real person reading that.
But it sounds real. It
sounds better. They're getting better and better.
Than computer.
And the good thing about that is that's great. Somebody could listen to one of my books and it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
The bad part is you don't know when you're speaking to a real person or not. Yep. I saw some videos that were AI generated, and they're like, oh my goodness, it looked like the real person really talking, because they take sound bites of the person talking. Yeah. And so they can recreate his voice to sound like him.
Yeah.
Because it kind of is his voice.
Exactly.
But then they can change and they can make them say anything. So really, you could get, if somebody was going to do this nefariously, if you will, they could get like Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, and they can make a video where they're saying something completely against what they believe.
Yeah.
And people would see it and they would say, I saw him do it. I saw the video.
Right.
And so now you can't believe your lying eyes.
Yep. Your lying eyes.
It's so this is working so how does this work in policing? And that's pretty cool what this agency is. And we are running out of time here. Do you think we ought to take this for another one? Do you think it would be good, or you want to run through this?
Yeah. No.
What do you think?
Whatever you want to do. I mean, I think there's a lot of good information.
Let's take this up against next week, because this is so interesting.
It is.
To see what's going on in the AI world.
Yeah.
And where it's going, because it's one of them things like, another technology piece. I'm scared. I'm too old. I don't want anymore. Just let me live my life. But then you get technology, and that's pretty cool.
Right.
We think nothing of using our phones now.
No.
I'm always on. I mean, my wife just recently, she's like, I wonder what the weather's going to be like tomorrow. Check your phone.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
They're not completely 100%, because same people are putting the same stuff in there, but you can have an idea. Hey, how's the weather going to be next week? And and generally it's pretty close.
Yeah.
There are so many things we can do with our phones. We don't even think. We're talking, Gary, about, I wonder what happened. You just, I'll just look it up and I got the answer.
All right.
Right then and there. And so there's a lot of good stuff with technology. There's a lot of scary stuff with it,
Yeah.
What's going on. I was reading a story. I was gonna use it for one of our shows, but it's like it's one of them stories. It's probably 10 pages long, literally. Like,
goodness.
oh my goodness. But it was about China and AI and what they're using, and China and Microsoft getting together, and us moving. I mean, us as us, U.S., the USA, moving a lot of our stuff out of the country for China to have access to our intelligence stuff.
My goodness.
It's scary. Like,
that
oh my
scary.
goodness. So there's a lot of positive stuff, but got to go back to the facts, try to find the facts of the matter. And we're going to talk about this because agencies, obviously, police departments are starting to use AI now. I didn't know that.
Huh.
They're starting to use it. And I haven't even used it yet on Facebook or on a LinkedIn. Would you like to have AI assist you with this post? I'm like,
right.
No, I don't want AI assist me. I can do my post. It's pretty simple.
Right.
But would I save time in the long run?
Yeah. It could.
And so,
but it's also going to change the workforce, and
we don't have to hire Scott Daniels,
right? And how often, Tim, do officers get called to court?
I mean, all the time.
All the time, right?
Yeah.
And so it makes sense in my mind, and I'm excited to talk about this next week too. But you go into police work, and the officers are writing the reports. It's not like they have a secretary ever.
Right.
Or they're like a doctor who has a transcriptionist.
Right.
It's, the officer was there. It's his report.
He's writing it.
Yeah.
And so how is AI can use, is that going to be helpful?
Yeah, we don't know.
Is it going to be bad?
Exactly.
So is it going to make lazy officers? Is it going to generate better, more accurate reports?
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping for. Yeah. If we can generate reports that are more accurate and do them faster, that's great. Why would we not use it? That would save money in the long run.
Yeah.
Anyways, I thought this was very, very interesting.
More time on the streets, I guess.
Yes.
Is kind of the idea.
Yeah, more time to actually be doing police work that you want to be doing in other work.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly
Anyways,
right.
we, again, Gary, are out of time. Can you believe that?
It goes by so fast, Tim Rupp.
It does. Hey, and if you have any questions or a topic that you want to address, obviously we talk about all kinds of stuff here on Cop Talk.
Yeah.
We try to keep it police-oriented, and we generally do. But you can send me an email. You can email suggestions, questions, or comments or complaints at coptalk@therev.fm, coptalk@therev.fm. Thought from the good book today: fret not yourself because of evildoers, and be not envious of the wicked. For the evil man has no future, and the lamp of the wicked will be put out. Thank you for joining us and helping to make the thin blue line a strong blue line.
Cop Talk is presented by the Strong Blue Line Foundation and sponsored by Moose Ridge Coffee in Snake River Landing, Idaho Falls. Questions and comments are always welcome by email to coptalk@therev.fm. Listen, follow, leave a review, and share this podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or YouTube. And visit thestrongblueline.org to learn how you can be a supporter. Cop Talk is a Rev FM production, produced and edited by Gary Austin. Thank you for joining us on Cop Talk.